I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm about to save you $34,000, but I kind of am. If you also like the look of certain designer items, but your last name isn't Rockefeller or Sackler, or like me, you just don't feel like selling pictures of your feet online in order to afford said item, if you bought the designer version of everything I'm going to show you in this video, it would be over $34,000. If you were to buy the inspired by version of everything that I'm showing you in this video, it would be around $315, give or take, okay? I'm not saying that you should or need to do that. I'm just saying in some ways it could be said that I am saving you over $34,000. You can go ahead and put those little footsies away. No need to photograph them and sell those online anymore. I've got your back. Let's go. I'm going to share with you some of the best designer inspired items that I have found that are going to give you the vibes, the feels, without anywhere close to, not even in the same atmosphere of a price tag. Be sure to subscribe and stick around. Let's jump in. It is so bright behind this camera. I feel like I am just like squinting and my eyes are watering. I apologize. I almost need sunglasses to film this video right now. Forgive me, please. The very first item that I want to share with you and kind of what inspired me to sit down and do this video is this little bag right here. If you have seen the Row, the brand The Row, they make beautiful basic items. The quality of their items are incredible. They have a bag called the Margot bag. It's gorgeous. You can get it in lots of different colors. The chocolate sort of suede is my favorite. It has a few different size options, but the price tag on that bag that I looked at was $7,000 to $8,000 just depending. And that's if you can find it, because it's pretty much sold out. And of course, then it's going to go on the secondhand market and the prices will go even higher. It's insanity. I do love the look of it. I love the basic style of it. It's very classic. And so I didn't find just this. I actually have like 6 bags sitting next to me because I went on the hunt for a very good inspired by version of it. This is the best one, in my opinion, for a number of reasons, especially if you want one that really looks like the Margot. It's got the little gold studs on the feet. It's got that nice, rich chocolate brown color and kind of, it's obviously not real suede. This is not real suede we're getting at this price point of like $20 to $30. I'll link you to a couple of different sellers on Amazon that sell this bag. The price does fluctuate and change and stuff with availability, but this bag is around $20, at most $30. And the Row doesn't have a bunch of big obnoxious branding on it or anything, which is my preference anyways. It makes it a lot easier to find inspired by pieces if you just like the look of something. It's not about trying to just copy and get like a fake of a designer look. It's about taking something that you really love, a shape, a style, a form, a fit, a color, a fabric, and finding something that is similar and inspired by it that gives you the same vibes and feels for a fraction of the price. Not, at least for me, not so much about trying to find a quote unquote knockoff. That's not what we're trying to do. Let's move on. I've already saved you $7,000. Okay. Not that, I mean, maybe we're going to buy the real one, but I've already saved you $7,000, okay? Let's talk about something else that's outrageously expensive, which is anything sold by Hermes. Oh, there's a lizard inside my office, sir. Hermes, I love the equestrian branding. They have like a lot of horse bits and equestrian stuff, which of course I love, but also everything that they sell is insanely expensive. I wanted to share with you these leather jewelry trays. They come in 4 different options as far as like necklaces. This is the little individual box, 12 boxes. Then I also have the ring. Don't pay attention to how squished it is. I took everything out of it so I could just easily lift it up and show you, but I'll show you what it looks like. I made the mistake of putting stuff in here and then when I was cleaning out my office, stacking and then putting it in a box that got other heavy things stacked on it. So I'm kind of letting these fluff back up a little bit. They did get a little squished, but this has the Hermes orange. It's like Coca-Cola red, okay? Hermes orange. It's the color that you connect with Hermes, right? Is this very vibrant orange color. So Hermes sells lots of leather jewelry trays and stuff. Theirs are honestly just like pieces of leather that are pulled up at the corner and it's like $890 or something. These are both under 30, I believe about $27.99. They stack on top of each other, making it, easy to store things. There's lots of other options if you don't like the Hermes orange. If you've got a jewelry lover in your life, that could also make a really great gift item. Again, I think they have like black, tan, lots of other options. All right, so next up we have these mixed metal bracelets, and these are giving like the David Yurman vibes. What's kind of funny is David Yurman has had a comeback. When I first graduated high school, I worked at the mall. I worked at Macy's back when it was Hex here in the South. Anybody remember Hex? Raise your hand. Yes. One of my friends there was a woman who was in her early 60s. She worked in the makeup department. I worked in the men's department, and she loved David Yurman and she would wear it all the time. And back then I very much like, to me, it was a brand for older women, but David Yurman has had a bit of a comeback as far as, you know, being a jewelry brand that is appealing to younger and younger audiences. I really like it, especially as I'm starting to mix more metals together, gold and silver, and I'm not just wearing all gold all the time. I like that it very easily does that. However, most of the David Yurman bracelets, it just completely depends on which kind you get, whether or not there's a little diamond in it or not, or anything like that. They go from, you know, $400 into the thousands of dollars. These three that I have here from Amazon that have that look and feel to them are all around $20 each. If you like the look of that, if you like the mixed metal look, then you can definitely get that for a fraction of the price. I really enjoy a lot of the jewelry from Susan Shaw, Julie Voss. Now, these are not crazy expensive brands compared to, you know, if you were buying this at like Prada or Hermes or something, but they are still in the few $100 range, anywhere from $100 to $300 range. And these kind of larger coin necklaces have been very popular for a few years now. I'd say this one is about $18.99 on Amazon. It is nice and just kind of light. I think, is it Susan Shaw has one that has like the actual like Queen Elizabeth on one side and maybe a horse head on the other. Like, there's some really beautiful ones out there. I like the look for a lot cheaper price tag for me for this piece. I do have a fabulous Susan Shaw alligator ring my husband got me for Christmas a couple years ago, and I love it. So especially when it comes to those kind of items, I love receiving those things as gifts, but I also love finding things like this that are given the vibes for a fraction of the price. Kind of rolls us very nicely into the Cartier pieces. I've shared about these before, but I do have a Cartier Love ring that is just the plain gold band. Okay, this was a push present from my husband after my twins were born. Okay, I pushed out two babies. One came out feet first. She came down the slide the wrong way. He gave me this as a replacement for my wedding rings, which I could not wear. They were from my grandma, and my hands grew being pregnant with twins and never really went back to the size they were before. I have a Cartier like regular Love band with no diamonds in it or anything. At the time, I want to say it was around $900. They have the ones that have the little diamonds in them, and those are anywhere from $2,000, $2,300 to $4,700, $5,000, depending on the placement, how many diamonds, etc. Wild, right? This one from Amazon that I have had for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now. It's on sale right now as of me making this video. It's on sale for $7.99. But I don't know what it will be when you actually click on the link, you know, if you're not watching this the day that I'm putting it out, but it's probably not going to be more than $10. Similar to the bracelets. So again, the Cartier Love bracelets, these are wild, y'all. This is just one of those things that I'm like, I am not judging what people want to spend their money on, because I know I spend money on stupid things sometimes too. But if you were to buy the real version of this Cartier bracelet, it's $11,900, $11,700. It's close to $12,000, which is 3 times what I paid for my first car. I just can't imagine walking around with that much money on my wrists. That just feels crazy to me. Maybe it's just I don't understand the lifestyle, darling, but it seems wild to me. These bracelets on Amazon that are sort of lookalikes inspired by for the Cartier bracelets are around $9.99. So just saying, okay, like if these were all real, this would be, I don't know, $15,000, $20,000 worth of bracelets, and instead it's like under 50, which is so much more reasonable, and it gives a similar look. If you just like a good stacked chunky bracelet look, we're getting it. We're getting the look, okay, for a fraction of the price. Let's move on to the next item, which is a pair of shoes. This is one of my favorite things to do. Honestly, it is like a hobby of mine on the side when I'm never bored, but when I want to go mindless, instead of scrolling social media a ton, there's a few different like fashion bloggers and stuff that I follow that I really love their style. I feel like they pull together very fun and colorful things, different things. It's not all the same. They are wearing things that on no planet could I ever afford. However, it's like a game to me now where I'm like, oh my gosh, that outfit is so cute, what she pulled together. And then I go and hunt down inspired by look-alike versions of those items. So these mesh ballet flats, I will tell you that when these people first started wearing these, I kind of turned my nose up. I was like, I don't know, guys, why are we doing that? That seems kind of weird. I decided to give these a try. These are an inspired by version of there's so many different designers that make these types of shoes right now. Everything from Loeffler Randall that are around $270 to, I think it's pronounced Alaya, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And Stout, the Alaya ones are $890. The Stout ones are going to be somewhere around there, $700 to $1,000. Okay, for these like mesh flats. So I found these on Amazon. Now these are a little, they're $59. So that is a little higher of a price point than I would normally pay for a non-brand name shoe, especially not knowing if it's going to be any good. However, of course, I can always return it if it's not. So I decided to give them a try. And let me tell you, I wore them the other day and I walked in, I said to my husband, I get why people love these. I get it now. He's like, I don't care. Okay, good for you. Especially, again, it's still very warm here in the South. And so these are airy. They let my feet breathe. My feet feel like free because your little toesies, if you got one of them like weird toesies that's always like trying to poke out one way, your feet can be weird. They could just bask in the glory of their weirdness. They're not trapped in a shoe. They're like very free to be themselves in these shoes. They're airy, but yet it still feels like you're wearing a closed-toed shoe, not so like sandally. Very, very breathable. Again, sometimes I have to eat my words. While I never made any kind of public declaration of disliking the mesh shoes, in my mind, I was like, I don't know, guys. But I really, really like these, really like them. And the nudish colored ones can help elongate the leg, make you look a little taller. Anyways, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm just telling you that if you were on the fence about this style of shoe, I would recommend that you give it a try because you'll probably be like me and find that you actually really like them a lot more than you thought you would. And they're kind of the perfect, easy to slip on flat for me this fall and can be worn with pants or dresses or whatever. So highly recommend. There's a couple things in this video that are not from Amazon. So let me just make that clear here that there's a couple things that are not from Amazon, but they are great designer inspired type items. Same thing, fashion blogger that I follow wears these absolutely beautiful dad sandals, right? Sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. That are a velvety material. They're Prada, which means that they are $1,000 because they say Prada on the little gold buckle. So as I always do, I went on the hunt and I found these. Now, when I'm looking for inspired by or look-alike type items, I'm not looking for like the cheapest thing that I can find that's just going to be a piece of crap and kind of look like it. I'm looking for something that has that look, but is still quality too. I want quality. I just don't want to pay $1,000 for it. If that makes sense. So this is from a brand called Charles Keith that I discovered, and it's real good. Okay. The quality of everything is really, really good, surprisingly good. And so these were, I want to say around $80 or $90, though I'm sure that there's, 10% off, 20% off coupons and things that you could find when you sign up for their newsletter and stuff like that. And unfortunately, these babies I have to exchange because I got an 8 and I need a 9. Sometimes I'm a half size, 8.5, and I should have went ahead and sized up to a 9. I didn't, I got an 8. And they're just a little too, because I have such high arches, I can't get my foot far enough forward in them. So I need the next size up, unfortunately. But they have the look of the Prada dad sandals that are very popular this fall. Charles Keith, I think, has a few different color options as well, but all of those like very rich colors that are so popular this fall, the Prada ones are gorgeous, but they $1,000. So these are under $100 and give all the same vibes. And then, you're also not wearing a bunch of like branded, heavily branded stuff, which, I think we all can agree can kind of look a little tacky when it's overdone with all of the logos and brand names and stuff like that. At least that's my opinion. Don't come for me. Then we have this beautiful brown. It's honestly, like on the website, I thought it was like, it looked a little more burgundy, but it is a very rich brown that pulls a tiny, tiny bit burgundy. Croc leather, not real leather, obviously, band watch. Looks an awful lot like it was inspired by the Cartier watch. And when I went to look up said Cartier watch, I found it used on some of the secondhand sort of luxury sites for around $3,500. That's the secondhand price on it. So I didn't bother digging further for the actual like original price if you were to buy it at a store. This one that looks very similar, just without the word Cartier on it, is $23.99. Okay. All right, so $3,500, $23.99. I'm going to take this one. Thank you so much. It's beautiful for fall. What's kind of amusing to me is that I came upon this watch and liked it standalone. I didn't actually realize that it was a look-alike for a more expensive watch until later. I just liked it by itself, which is also my other favorite way when I find things that I just love as they are and then come to find out, oh, it's a look-alike for something more expensive. We're almost done, my friend. Be patient with me. I also have this beautiful bag to share with you. So Bottega Veneta bags, again, another brand that used to be considered kind of an old lady brand, has made a comeback. Very, very, very expensive. Again, I love the designs. They're often simple. They don't have a bunch of, logos and stuff all over them. They're beautiful bags. But even if I could afford to, I don't know that I could justify buying a bag like this, for example, that if I were to buy the Bottega, it's about a $5,500 bag. This bag, this is actually the one from Target. So Target has a couple of really great Bottega lookalikes right now. I will link you to a few of them. This one is around $30 and it's so soft, supple, feels lovely, gives you the very same vibes and looks of a Bottega bag. You don't have to sell your pictures of your feet online to be able to afford this bag, okay? That's all I'm saying. There's an Amazon version as well that's around $49 that has really great reviews. This one I could just get my hot little hands on a little bit faster since I could get it in store. Very much the feels, the vibes without the painful, utterly painful price tag. Which then brings me to my cool ladies sunglasses, okay? Aviators. I do love them. They do bring all the cool vibes. I mean, Top Gun, we feel, right? You get it. We get it, all right? But especially for sunglasses like this that are wire and the Gucci version of these aviator sunglasses are around $695. Okay, these, one moment please while I pull up your account. Aha! These, which I purchased from Amazon in a 3-pack. Okay, so these come in my chair and it's slow spin the other way. It's so rude. It's just because my office is a little uneven, but who cares, right? Okay, so we have kind of the gold and brown, black on black versions, and then gold with more of a black lens on them. Okay, you get all 3 pairs of these sunglasses. I got the larger size. There's 2 size options, like 55 millimeter and 62 or something like that. I got the larger ones because I kind of got like a big noodle. So I feel like I have to balance it. You get all 3 pairs for $21.99, okay? All 3. Instead of 1 pair that you might just sit on and break or drop on the ground or your kids will grab or whatever that costs $695, we can have 3 pairs. Listen, lizard. Okay, guys, I need you to know what's happening behind the camera right now. If I could easily turn it around, I would. There are 2 stink bugs that are mating on the window sill. There is a lizard that is very, very near them, 4 inches away. He seems to be running away, like he didn't realize he was walking in on something and now he needs to get away. I don't know, do lizards eat stink bugs? Am I about to watch a lizard eat a mating stink bug? I don't know. But the lizard is trying to figure out how to get out of here. The stink bugs are mating on my window in front of me. But I do have one more item to share with you before we go, and I attempt to get all of God's creatures out of my office, is this that looks like I skinned one of God's creatures, but I didn't, okay? This faux fur blanket. I'm so impressed with this. Blankets like this, I'm calling this a dupe for a Pottery Barn blanket because the big Pottery Barn faux fur blankets with the where can I get to a side of the lining here? With the lining on the inside like that, anywhere from, $100 to $150. This one on Amazon is $39.99. It is big, it is beautiful, it is soft, it feels amazing. It's perfect as we are winterizing. our bedrooms and our living rooms and adding the fur and the things that, you know, give us all the like wintry coming up Christmassy vibes and such. Draping one of these across the foot of my bed, over the back of the sofa, or sometimes just having out here in my office to cuddle with. I currently have another fuzzy blanket right there that I got in the big Prime Day deals. That's not the point. The point is that this blanket is gorgeous, beautiful. There's a few different color options, and it is significantly less than its Pottery Barn sister, you know, significantly less. And it's not like the Pottery Barn one is like a real skinned Arctic cat or something. It's all fake fur. Hey, one of my teens is getting ready to go camping for like 10 days, and we must get her hair dyed before she leaves to go camping. So, mom duty calls. Those are some of my favorite sort of designer-inspired, look-alike-esque finds. Most of them are from Amazon, except for a few. That is it for me today, y'all. I must go and dye the hairs of my teenager, and I will see you guys again very soon.